everybody, and welcome to video number 21 in my EFT series. This video is to follow on from the previous video I made, which was about EFT for nightmares, and this time to connect with that, I'm doing a video for EFT for insomnia, or for your difficulties, if you've got difficulties sleeping. So before I start the video, I will just remind you to take responsibility for your own well-being while watching this video. So in the previous video I did show an example how I used EFT to help me with one of my own nightmares. And I had nightmares for years, and also I had problems with sleep for many years. I remember as a small child, when I went somewhere away on trips, it would always take me like half the night to try to go to sleep. When I used to go on holidays on coaches, and we would like travel from Prague all the way to Spain, and it would basically involve 3 nights, and on the coach I just couldn't sleep. So I always had issues with insomnia and being unable to sleep, but I do find that EFT is really helpful in helping us with whatever issues we've got, whatever stops us from going to sleep. And you know, I've got friends who sometimes kind of can't sleep themselves, and they say on Facebook, anybody up sort of like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're fishing for someone, is there anyone else out who can't sleep? And a lot of my friends, you know, have done a course in EFT, they are EFT practitioners. And so I go back to them and I said to them, well, have you considered tapping for your issues? And they said, no. And yeah, I said, yeah, it's possible, you know, that EFT will help you, the tapping will help you to go to sleep. So yeah, that's something good to do. If you can't sleep, then it's good to tap on whatever it is which is stopping you from going to sleep. And it might be some worries, or it might be nightmares. And I'll just show quickly just a review, sort of a summary of the previous video I did, and what happened for me when I tapped on a nightmare when I was basically being suffocated in a box. And so one good way of view is, if you, something which worries you, you can draw it and tap on it. And as you keep on tapping and it keeps evolving, you know, so this was me drowning. When I came down to this point, I was in a huge bit of tension, just ready to explode. So I tapped on the explosion. So I just tapped on this explosion, and then after all the drowning and everything was kind of black and barren, there was a new life. There was a tulip, and I tapped on the pink. That seemed to be a healing color for me. And you know, often I've got nightmares when I keep falling down into an abyss. And so the next picture which I drew was me kind of falling into an abyss, but actually I'm falling into the light. And so you can see how this has been evolving, this kind of nightmare, whatever it was. And my final picture was actually me drawing the airs, and around it I drew a lot of stars with shining light, and that kind of represents for me healing for myself and healing for the whole world, and you know, me helping others, you know, to heal from their issues and enjoy a much better, happier and healthier life. So yeah, so if there is something which keeps upsetting you, there's so much on your mind, particularly now we are in Advent time, and it is a very stressful time for many people, particularly for women, then do tap on whatever it is that is stopping you from having a good night's sleep. So I mean, the examples I gave are just examples, you know. Using your own words is the best way of connecting to your own experience. Or if you are just you know, in bed and you don't want to wake up the whole household, your partner who is, you know, sleeping and everything else, you can just step and keep tuning to this issue that you've got and just step on it and say, even though I've got this issue, even though I've got this worry, and you can do it in your own head, or you can even imagine tapping, you know, if you don't want to do any movements, if you don't want to disturb your partner, just imagine tapping on the points, like as if you would. And even though I've got this worry that is stopping me from going to sleep, even though I've got these issues, even though I'm scared of these nightmares, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I've got this issue and fill in whatever it is that is stopping me from going to sleep, I choose to love and accept and honor myself. It might be that there is something, someone's done something wrong to you, or you said something wrong to somebody else and you just can't sleep because of that. It's on your mind. So do the acceptance of yourself, but also of the other person who's wronged you. So even though I've got this worry, this issue, I had this argument, maybe with my friend or with my partner or whatever, I choose to love and honor and accept myself and the person I've got issues with. Okay, so once you've done the setup on the karate chop, start tapping at the top of your head. This worry, this issue that's stopping me from sleeping, this anxiety, this stress. You might feel any bodily sensation, tightness in my chest, for example. Whichever it is for you, just tap on that. This worry. I just can't sleep. The whole night is ahead of me. I just can't sleep. How annoying. I can't sleep. Everyone else is sleeping, but I can't. It's just, I'm there on my own in the middle of the night. It's kind of scary. How will I cope the next day when I can't get enough sleep? All this worry I've got. I just can't sleep. All this worry. All these things on my mind. Okay, so take a deep breath in. And tune in to the worry and continue tapping on whatever it is till the intensity of that worry is going to reduce. And you know, one of the old kind of remedy for not being able to sleep was counting sheep. And I remember counting to thousands and thousands, and I said, well, this is just not going to help me. And I've just done one of these little sheep, and I did put the tapping points, and I do it on other soft toys like teddy bears and, you know, teddy cats or whatever. And I just got this one because I put it into a folder so that when I show people about what EFT is, I just hang it up on the folder and show all the tapping points. And that's actually a good way. If your children have got issues with sleeping, then a nice way for them before going to sleep is to read them a nice, calming, soothing story and do a bit of tapping with them, whatever worries they might have, you know. And as I said, these points are the points which, you know, correspond to the acupuncture points. And it's a good way of remembering them, particularly for children. But also it's a good way of actually tapping on your own worries. If you find it difficult to express your own worries, just tap on the sheep, or I mean whatever. Just you can do your own one. Just any teddy bear. Just sew on the points. You can do buttons, you know. And what it also is that when we are doing it and watching it, we are actually getting the benefits, which is something called mirroring the neurons. And so even if people don't do it and watch others do, they will still be getting benefits in the same way as when you are tapping in the middle of the night when you can't sleep, and you know, you can just do it, just pretend to tap in your own kind of mind's eye. And as I'm talking about things which, you know, other things which I'm doing, I've put on today a tapping t-shirt, a tapping teddy. And again, it's something nice, creative to do, you know, with children. And when they wear it, they can tap on each other, they can remind each other, oh, you know, we can tap, and that will help us. So once you've managed to clear whatever is stopping you from sleeping, I mean, it might be a good idea for you to write these things down and put them into the notebook and leave it, put it in the living room and say, now all these things, I will deal with them tomorrow, but now I'm letting go of all these worries. I'm not going to solve it in the middle of the night. So and also it's a good thing for you to get into the habit of switching your mobiles or any computers, laptops, iPads, or even the television kind of 1 hour before you go down, you go to sleep, and perhaps read something, but read something nice, not something disturbing. You definitely don't want to watch horror movies and things like that. So, and also like, leave your bedroom a place which is just a place for sleeping. So don't flood it with all kinds of other technologies, you know, and everything else. Don't use it as an entertainment room. Go for the entertainment to, you know, your living room, so that, you know, like, so you start giving your body the signal it's actually time to sleep now. So let's round up this tapping. I mean, as I said, you know, I've only done 1 round of tapping, but we could continue tapping on these issues you've got till you feel a bit calmer, and then it's kind of easier to go to sleep. And another thing which I was going to actually mention was that, you know, if you do need to take a sleeping pill, that's okay, especially during, you know, some stressful times. And of course you need to go to see a doctor and you know, explain and everything else. And you know, my doctor, for example, says, oh, you know, I can't keep on prescribing you sleeping pills because you'll get addicted. But you know, if it helps, I'm trying to say, well, if it helps me, you know, hopefully I won't be addicted forever. And I mean, I do know that, for example, my husband, after he had cancer, he had to have sleeping pills. My father used to have sleeping pills ever since I've known him, because he suffered from depression. And then he did get a bit addicted. But you know, if it helps, I mean, of course it's not good to be addicted, but you know, if it helps temporarily, you know, that's okay. And if it's something you're worried that if you do take these sleeping pills and you get addicted, again, it's something you can tap on. You can say, well, even though I'm taking these sleeping pills and the doctor thinks I get addicted, and I'm really worried about getting addicted, you know, what will I mean, you know, am I an addict? And actually I will do a video about addiction in the next video, which will again follow on to this one. You know, it's okay to get help. It's okay to, you know, take sleeping pills for a short time if there is, you know, any stress in your life, any bereavement, any, you know, if you lose a job, or, you know, you're looking after a loved one who is ill, or you experience a chronic illness yourself, and the pain or anything else might be stopping you from sleeping. So it's actually okay. And you know, you need to explain to your doctor that, you know, it is something which helps you, and you know, the EFT will help you to hopefully one day not need to take those sleeping pills. So yeah, as I said, it's okay to take some help for sleep if you really feel badly stressed out, because you know there's nothing worse than not sleeping. It's not good for your immunity and everything else. So you know, and EFT helps with the acceptance, like yeah, it's okay, I'm, you know, like, am I an addict just because I'm addicted? You know, I need to take sleeping pills for a few months or even for a few years. You know, I mean, I've been taking sleeping pills on and off for the last 15 years, and that's okay. You know, it kind of, yeah, I mean, I do feel, oh, you know, will I get addicted? But then that's okay. You know, you can tap on accepting that, okay, it's okay to get a bit of help. So the last thing we'll, you know, to round up this video, I'm just going to tap on a good night's sleep. So I'm going to get a good night's sleep, a peaceful sleep, sweet dreams, and I love and accept myself. I'm going to enjoy a good night's sleep, leaving all the worries behind, all the things which need attending. I'll leave that behind. I'm not going to solve it in the middle of the night. And I love and accept myself. A good night and peaceful sleep I'm going to have. And I love and accept myself. A good night's sleep. A peaceful sleep. With nice dreams. Energizing sleep. I'll wake up refreshed after a good night's sleep. A good night's sleep. Letting go of all the worries I have. Letting go of all the fears. Letting go of all the pain. I enjoy a good night's sleep. A calm sleep. A peaceful sleep. I enjoy a good night and a peaceful sleep that makes me energized and refreshed. Good night's sleep. So that's all I wish you. And as I'm finishing, it was funny, the train just went at the end, and it just makes me remember when I used to go to the weekend house and I would be sleeping in the same room as my father. My father snored very badly, and I always wished the train would come, because the train was soothing the snoring of my father and often helped me to go to sleep. And actually some of the neighbors tell me that the train, they can't sleep because of that, but actually you get used to it. And you know, it is actually funny that some people use what is it called, air conditioning. They leave the fan even in the middle of the winter, because actually they say, oh, helps me to go to sleep. So yeah, there's all kinds of things, soothing music, and it's also interesting, it helps some people but doesn't help the other. But you know, do whatever do to helps you get sleep, good night's sleep. EFT certainly will help you. So goodbye for now, and see you during my next video.